Miscarriages and abortions. This is such an important topic and it is not talked about. It is important to know how this affects our life and the life of others in the family system. We know from the work of family constellations that everybody belongs from the moment of conception. It doesn't matter if somebody got to live 100 years or just a few days after conception. Everybody has their place. And when they don't, when they are not honored, respected, remembered, when they don't have their place in the family system, others are going to have an entanglement, like an energetic bond, like a connection, and that's going to affect their lives. They're not going to be able to fully enjoy their lives because of this entanglement that they have. So, what happens is that when there's an abortion or a miscarriage, and it happens exactly the same way for both, there's a process. And the parents, but especially the mother, she needs to be able to, if she has grief, sadness, to connect to these emotions, to feel them, to be able to do the process of saying goodbye, and then to be able to release these emotions. And if possible, to be able to talk to others, to the ones that are close to her, the loved ones, about this situation so that she doesn't have to live this situation alone. And this helps the process. So when the mother is able to connect and feel this grief, she's then also able to release it, to let go. And this helps her move on. This helps that the other children that are able to live, the grandchildren, do not connect to the grief of the mother and do not carry that grief in their lives. Because this is what happens. We connect to the grief of our mother and grandmother, the grief that they were not able to feel and to let go. So, this is a process that is very important. And if there is no grief, that's okay. But if there is, it is important to accept it, to feel it, and to release it. And then to remember this being that was not able to live in different moments of your life, in different occasions. Maybe when you're talking to others, you don't need to talk about the situation. You can leave it in private. But in situations when you're together with all the family or thinking of the ones that are not there anymore, in your heart, you connect to the ones that were not able to even be born. And remember and honor, respect them, give them their place. That helps you release and move on. It helps also this being to move on, and it helps the children and grandchildren that you may have or are going to have not to connect to those emotions and get stuck. When you give the place to these beings that are not able to be born, these unborn members of the family system, then others do not step into their place. So, what does this mean? So, what happens is that, for example, if my mom has a miscarriage before I'm born, and she's not able to deal with that, she's not able to connect to that grief, and she just wants to forget. She doesn't remember because she doesn't want to, because it's just too painful. And then I'm born energetically, and this is completely unconscious. I have no idea that I'm doing this. I'm going to connect to that sibling that was not able to be born. And I'm going to take the place because I'm considered the first one in the family, but I'm not the first one. I'm actually the second one. So I don't have my place. I'm in the place of somebody else, someone that was not able to live. So then, since I'm in this energy, I don't get that permission. I don't allow myself to fully live and connect to all that life can give to me. Internally, without even realizing, I feel that I don't deserve that. Why me? If I don't understand. There's this like being out of place, and I often feel out of place in my life, with my friends, with my work, with where I'm living. I just feel that I'm never happy where I am, and all these situations come when I'm not in my place because I'm in the place of a miscarriage or an abortion that came before me. So it affects the children that we're going to have after those abortions and miscarriages. Sometimes it affects them even if they are already born. So It is important to know all of this, how this affects us, and that it is important to connect to our emotions and release them, to be able to give the place to everybody in the family system, honoring and respecting them. And talking about the emotions is also important to connect to the guilt. If I feel guilty about the situation, to just accept that guilt and release it, to not hold on to it, so that you are also able to connect to life and keep on enjoying life. This is information that is very important. This process is very important as well, and everybody can do it in their own way. You don't have to follow a specific way of doing it. As long as you connect to your emotions, accept your emotions, and release them, as long as you give the place to everybody in their family system and remember them, honor, respect them, and you say yes to life and connect to life. And then this gives the energy for everybody else connected to you to also say yes to life and enjoy life.